Very interesting you would say that. Follow the patterns, Pisces, because we were just talking last night. And it would be an 8. What comes around goes around. So what you're telling me, this is good. So if you had Hell's Gates, let's just say the devil. If you had Hell's Gates, the devil himself, create the computer, and then he created the virus for the computer, and then he created the virus software so that he could triple dip and basically run a huge scam through the network, and internet, da 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 da. And then they mashed you up, locked you down with what, nanotechnology or whatnot. And it did. It always struck me funny, when they say 78% of everyone that got the 78%. Oh, 78. That's my birth year. That's my birth year. So there's got to be a sign there. However, you've got starseeds now awakening that are spiritually protected from body jumpers. And everything happens exactly as it should. Because if you had Dorothy doing ancient Egyptian Jinn magic and summoning the Jinn, and now those body jumpers are going back on them, it's simple research. 3 ways the Jinn enter the body. They're a spiritual virus. It's an entity. It's what it is. It's an attachment. It's a spirit of influence. They're called Jinn whispers for a reason. So if you've got someone that I know casted that shit out, and now it's going to go back and affect everyone's reptilian brain, because that's the 3 ways that the Jinn enter a human vessel. Heightened states of rage, heightened states of fear, or when you're in your passion, sex magic, whatever. Well, that's the reptilian brain. Your reptilian brain controls sex, fight, or flight. So, what comes around goes around. Nifty how this works, isn't it? So that basically goes right along with what the High Priestess said about these people would be forced to heal. They would be forced to meditate. They would be forced to protect themselves. And they would be forced to be possessed. And we're already seeing the possessions happen. People losing their minds. That's what it is. Telling you, if they can do experiments on water, your body is 70% water. There's manifestation methods for manifesting with water. How do you make holy water? You bless it, you talk nice to it, you give it frequencies. And she just said it. She was talking about the sonar wars with the music, where they tweak the frequency of the music just enough to create a reaction out of you, because they feed on that energy. And that's even better. I mean, she's talking about them ingesting. Well, that's the whole point of the East Island. You can Google that. They've been having the reptilian conspiracy with David Icke for years. Okay, great. So now you have those reptilian minds that are worried about they're in fear. The fear tactics that they use are now being reversed on them, and you have the Egyptians, devils, Jinn in the situation. That's what it is. Oh, and as far as me goes that thinks I'm on substances, sweetheart, at any time I use a word that you don't know the definition for the specific experience that it finds, by all means, ask and receive. It's just you're a little bit far behind. But that is a good point bringing that up, because that would be distilling the spirit. That's where the Jinn sickness comes from. And then Afghanistan today being flooded. That's what it is. You're talking about genie magic. If they'd asked about my past life regression, they would know that. So and I guess so. Let's get off of that. So where are these other temperance energies that are running around? I know everybody wants to be the sun, star, solar energy. So where are they? You have a job to do. You have a mission to accomplish. You're here on a starseed mission that every tarot reader on the planet is talking about. Great, where are you guys? Because that's a very, very specific symbolism based on a very, very specific title that you would hold or that I hold, one or the other. And it's what it is. And everybody that tries to copy that shit, that's shamanic sickness. Google it. They want to be healers. They're going to have to prove to the universe that they can heal. It's called the curse of the shaman for a reason. We're dealing with angelic Reiki. We're dealing with spirits and shit. People just want to jump right all off in it. Okay, great. Why would you have spiritual protection with a spiritual business? Isn't that something? Don't you have to practice your spiritual protection? Just like you would practice building your spiritual business? Just like you would practice your spiritual gifts? Right? But everybody wants to be spiritual without spiritual protection, without spiritual gifts, without doing any of the work, and now they're wide open to spirits. Prove me wrong. That's what it is. And don't tell me how high I am. I'm so high on life, you'll never get there. It's simple enough. Prove me wrong. The information is there. All you have to do is go into the Ascension glossary. That's what it is. Simple enough. And that's the thing, is we're looking for individuals now that have results, not excuses. Because now we've come Pisces, they're starting to realize this isn't a game. Well, yeah, it's the game of life. And just because they don't know how to play it and they're playing with their lives, I can't do anything about that. Can't do anything about that at all. So that's what it is. Let's find out. Let's see what's in store for you guys. Ooh, even better. Can you read that? Learn something new every day. Ooh, don't miss out on your chance to win big. What are the numbers? 36, that's a 9. 7, 3, 17, that's an 8. 11's always 11. And a 5, that would be change. So learn something new every day and make that change. That's what it is. And she was just talking about the blockchain. That was the video I made first thing this morning. So if you've got blockchain cards coming out on how to be your own sovereign being, how to have your own your own bank, you're your own everything, right? The secrets and things that they hide from you guys, that you believe anything that they tell you. You don't read. You believe everything that they tell you, and you don't read. And then all of the secrets that they have in the background that I see through. I see through the illusion. That's what it is. And that's what we're looking for. Now we're looking for the individuals that see through the illusion. Because you can't do anything. If people don't stand for something, they'll fall for anything. I agree with that. So now you've got people that are falling for their tricks left and right. There's the explosion right there. That's what it is. And it will be swift. I can't do anything about that. I can't do anything about that. It's just what it is. I mean, you guys, they want to know what Pisces is doing, yet they don't ask. That's what it is. Probably because they can't do it anyway. That's why they're trying to mimic it. mean, you have to think that intellectual property. Thank you for that. That intellectual property that everybody was upset about. You know, they were stealing Pisces intellectual property. Okay, great, Pisces. Which one of you? That's in every tarot reader's mouth. Which one of you had intellectual property that they were stealing? Which one of you had investments that they were stealing? Because me, I had Gaia Media's ebook, Attract, Don't Chase, and it was a double-edged sword. It would either attract in people who had their own inner demons to overcome, or it would attract the big demons like a lightning bolt. That's what it is. Energy harvesters, things of that nature, people who were plagiarizing because they're all obviously absolutely possessed by these body jumpers. So that's what it is. That's what it is. And yes, I absolutely agree with Pisces Kingdom. When these people make their little comments, they don't have a business. They have a fake profile and a comment. That's all they have. And you're absolutely right. The only way that they can bring you down is if they're already underneath you. They're already below. And I don't expect anyone to understand anything I say anyway. It's not an appointment. This is YouTube. Yeah, I expect you to read. You can read what I put in the comments. However, yeah, this is going to be interesting because you have to think about that. And she just said it. She said the Earth Angel is here to spark off the system collapse. Okay, cool. So we're collapsing the matrix. We've been telling you that. That's what it is. It's a specific birth chart that they knew from the beginning would step in. They're worried about Pisces stepping into their power. Okay, great, Pisces. There's not a tarot reader on the planet that isn't talking about Pisces stepping into their star energy or their star seed energy or their earth angel energy. Great, where are you? How did you do it? How are you able to activate your DNA? What technique did you use? What spiritual protection do you have to keep their mental manipulation from affecting you? I'd love to know. And don't say, what are you on? Because that's one of the techniques that they use. They keep you in chaos and conflict because you're a toxic energy vampire. Simple enough. Simple enough. And me, you're a prime example because you will be the next one that will be taken over by one of these body jumpers unless you understand everything that I just said. What spiritual protection do you use? What technique? How often do you practice it? Have you built it like a muscle? Do you teach it? Where is your business? That's what it is. And she said there will come a day when they go to hunting chosen ones. Cool, I'm doing that shit right now. That's what it is. They're afraid of me, so why not? Why not go for it? And you're going to have people that they can't be this dense. If you see people, when that Life Path 8 Earth Angel pops into your reality, it is a lesson or a blessing with karma or dharma tenfold. Okay, great. What does that mean? If we're sitting here visually watching all of these people get karma, wouldn't you be smart enough? Wouldn't you be smart enough to do the opposite of them? These readers are talking about one individual with a business that people are dropping like flies around that person because of baneful magic, witchcraft, and voodoo. Great. Where are those individuals? Because I understand subconscious programming through a tarot reader, and I understand they're not aware because I can ask the question that specifically fits that energy, and they don't fit that energy, but yet that's them. What do you teach? They're talking about a teacher. What intuitive gifts do you have? Where did you develop them? Are you a healer? Those are all the same thing. They're talking about one person that was targeted, one business that was targeted. Unless I can find the other businesses that they targeted, then every tarot reader is talking about a business that was targeted, and I'm going to target it too. I'm going to target that business until I find out which one these girls are talking about. That's what it is. In the meantime, yeah, you're looking at what comes around goes around. That's why they're in fear, because of whatever Dorothy did. When I hear a reader tell me that Dorothy summoned that Jinn, she did us all a favor because that shit don't affect me. That's what it is. Namaste.